Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the drivers of the 1993 Indianapolis 500-mile race, escorted by the 1993 500 Festival Court, Miss Teresa Lynn DeBoer, Miss Claire Denise Godfrey, Miss Kristen A. Helm, and Miss Dawn Elizabeth Strecker. Mr. Danny Sullivan. Mr. Nelson Piquet. Mr. Stan Fox. Mr. Paul Tracy. Mr. Jeff Andretti. Mr. Roberto Guerrero. Mr. Robbie Gordon. Mr. Jeff Bravo. Ms. Lynn St. James. Mr. Jim Crawford. Mr. Dominique Dobson. Mr. DJ Tay. Mr. Willie T. Ribbs. Mr. Tony Bettenhausen. Mr. Stéphane Gregoire. Mr. Hiro Matsushita. Mr. Gary Bettenhausen. Mr. Eddie Cheever. Mr. Davy Jones. Mr. Kevin Cogan. Mr. Jimmy Vassar. Mr. Al Unzer. Mr. Stefan Johansson. Mr. John Andretti. Mr. Teo Fabi. Mr. Al Unzer, Jr. Mr. Scott Goodyear. Mr. Scott Brayton. Mr. Mario Andretti. Mr. Raul Boisel. Mr. Nigel Mansell. Mr. Ari Luyendijk. Ladies and gentlemen, escorted by the 1993 500 Festival Queen, Miss Michelle Ann Hoskin, the 1993 winning driver of the Indianapolis 500-mile race, Mr. Emerson Fittipaldi. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your masters of ceremonies for this evening, the network radio voice of the Indianapolis 500 and host of ESPN Speed Week, and three-time winner of the Indianapolis 500 and winner of 27 Champ Car victories, Mr. Bob Jenkins and Mr. Johnny Rutherford.
Well, good evening, everyone. We are delighted once again to co-host this exciting evening of handing out money and saluting the drivers who participated in yesterday's great Indianapolis 500. You're happy to be here, aren't you, Mr. Rutherford?
Oh, you bet. I would much rather have been up here, though. It's, that's a little better deal, isn't it?
And so, does that mean that you may have an announcement that you'd like to make before we get underway this evening?
Nope.
I didn't think so. Well, let's proceed and get underway with a lot of check handing out and a lot of exciting moments ahead. Two very significant official retirements have taken place recently. One didn't. First, not in the order which they occurred, a pretty fair driver from the state of Texas.
They're all good from Texas.
Ladies and gentlemen, to honor this racing legend, please welcome Mrs. Mary Holman George, the chairman of the board, and Mr. Tony George, the president of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
As most of you know, AJ is a very special friend of our family. The friendship began when AJ first came to Indianapolis and has continued through the years. Also, as many of you may recall, 2 years ago, on the occasion of the 75th running of the race, when he announced his retirement for the first time, we took that opportunity to recognize the deep feelings we have for him and the respect he has earned from the entire racing industry. Remember the silver horse? So tonight, even AJ couldn't be here with us in person. In recognition of his announcement that he really has retired from active driving, we want to add our sincere best wishes. We're so glad he's only retired from driving and that we'll be able to continue our association with him as a car owner and always a friend. Thank you.
I go, Bob.
Okay.
All right. Well, another pretty good driver who hails from California retired this month as well, or this year, and is now out of it. We'll look at something on this driver.
Have an up and down year at Indy this year, and for all of you that watch the race, it was my last one there. And as far as tonight goes, I'm officially retired. Toughest decision I've ever made in my life, and the main reason it's this tough is because of the family that I've had. You guys have just been tremendous.
It is a great honor to introduce and to welcome this evening four-time Indianapolis 500 winner, Rick Mears.
Rick, you certainly are one of a kind. You hold many records at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. 6 times you won the pole position. You're one of the few elite who have won the Indianapolis 500 4 times. And as of tonight, you remain Speedway's all-time leading money earner. But to us and all of your fans, you also represent something even more special. In addition to your tremendous skills as a driver, you're one of the true sportsmen in our industry. You've overcome great pain and injury, go on to do remarkable things. You set an example for others to look up to. You're a true winner, and it means a great deal to have you here with us this evening. Although your retirement as a driver will leave a tremendous void in the starting field of races to come, you continue to serve the sport as one of the most cherished ambassadors and now one of its most valued mentors. In addition, we count you as one of the most prized assets that the Speedway has ever known, and it's been a great honor having you grace the starting field for all these years, and you're a tremendous champion. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Rick, we know that you love being on and near the water. So we have something for you that will be a reminder to you of the beauty and serenity that you are now going to be able to enjoy full time. Where is it? Oh, here it comes. This is a 3-part French crystal sculpture called Dome's Sails. It is a rare hand-blown free-form piece. The artistic skill and precision required to create this artwork is similar to the tremendous effort and dedication you have always brought to your own career. We hope it'll always be a reminder to you of our best wishes for you in whatever you do.
Thank you very much.
It'll be on.
Makes me homesick already. Oh, that's beautiful, Mary. I just want to say thank you. It's just been tremendous being here, and got to thank you, Mary and Tony, and the Holman family, the Speedway, USAC, and everybody involved that obviously has made this possible. I mean, this is the greatest race in the world, and I never even dreamed of being here, let alone having the opportunity to win it. So. It's just fantastic, and I've got to thank all of you very, very much. Thanks again. Thank Penske for giving me the opportunity. All the years I've been here, I've been with the Penske team, and they've made it all happen too. Thank you very much. Thank you.
2 four-time winners honored tonight is fantastic. We'll be back with more and the awards and meet some of the drivers coming up. Stay tuned for this and Johnny Rutherford.
Where they could get the driving back in the cockpit. I thought that was great.
I think most of us would agree with that.
It's now our distinct pleasure to introduce to you some people who are seated in the audience tonight. And first is a special guest and a longtime friend of the Holman George family, Indiana's own Miss Florence Henderson. Florence.
Also with us tonight, a well-known figure in the world of speed. He's a great racing enthusiast, the General, Chuck Yeager.
The president of the 1993 500 Festival, Mr. Robert H. Frist. Mr. Frist.
The Chief Steward of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Mr. Tom Benford.
And the Holman George family from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Miss Kathy George. Kathy.
Member of the Board of Directors of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Miss Nancy George.
Also a member of the Board of Directors of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Miss Josie George.
And the wife of the president of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Tony George, Mrs. Laura George. Well, I guess it's time to get down to passing out the money. You think we should make them wait a little longer or get on with this?
No, let's get on with it. It's suspenseful, isn't it?
You know, it may take us a little bit longer than it did last year, because last year we had about 5 guys over in Methodist Hospital getting patched up. This year we have 33 healthy race drivers here. And finishing in 33rd position, driving the Molson 93 Lola Chevy C, former winner of the Indianapolis 500, Danny Sullivan. Mr. Sullivan, as I watched the TV coverage last night, and I saw from your in-car camera the encounter with the wall, I thought it was 1988 all over again. It was almost exactly what happened back then.
Well, just about. And I can tell you, I do not want one of those cameras in my car again. Enough of that.
Danny, for finishing in 33rd position, you received from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Corporation $124,800 and in designated awards $12,100 for a total cash prize for finishing 33rd, $137,203. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, and obviously thanks to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but to Rick and Ed Nathman and Ziggy and all the boys, I really do appreciate it. Gave me a great month. Sorry it didn't work out. To MO and all of Marlboro Team Penske, congratulations, great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Finishing in 32nd, driving the Aristo STP Special 93 Lola Menard, Mr. Nelson Piquet. Nelson, for your efforts yesterday from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Wait a minute, I'll tell you. Indianapolis Motor Speedway Corporation, $125,000. For designated prizes, $11,916 for a grand total of $137,219. Not bad.
Well, I will be very short, like was my race. Well, I want to say thank you very much for all the organization, for all Indianapolis, and it was a big dream of my life, participate that race. I tried last year, it was not possible, and be back well, and I try to do better next year. I want to also thank you very much for the sponsor, Arisco, for Joe Menard, and thank you very much for everybody. Thank you.
See you next year. Finishing in 31st position, driving the Delta Faucet, Jack's Tool Rental, Himmelgarn Racing 1991 Lola Buick from Janesville, Wisconsin, Mr. Stan Fox. You are Stan Fox, are you not?
Yes.
For those of you who heard our radio broadcast yesterday, one of our pit reporters, and it was not Chris McClure, as incorrectly reported in the local paper this morning, but another one of our pit reporters thought he was talking to Didier Tays. Now, how they confused the two, I don't know, but you didn't have a very long race. What do you have to say about it?
No, it was a short race, but you know, rather uneventful. I'm just real happy that we were in the race, and whenever you can roll the car back in the garage and you can walk back to it, that's a good race. You know, you'd always want to win, but we're in one piece.
All right, from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Corporation, $125,300. Your designated awards total $11,100 for a grand total of $136,703 for Stan Fox. There you go.
I'd just like to take a second. I'd like to thank Ron Hemmelgarn. This is the third year he's hired me as his driver, and I really appreciate that, and especially to Ronnie Dawes, my chief mechanic, and the whole crew, that we snuck a 91 car in the show this year. It was the only 91 in the race, and they just did a fantastic job. And my sponsors, Delta and Jack's Tool, and congratulations to Roger and Emmo on an excellent job. Thank you.
Finishing in 30th place, driving the Marlboro 93 Penske Chevy C, Mr. Paul Tracy. How you doing, Pops?
I'm doing pretty good. That was a tough week. I was up there on Thursday, carburation day, sweating it out there in the operating room, and Emerson's out in my car, and he blows the motor up and gets my setup and won the race.
Now it can be told.
But the good news is you became a father Thursday, right?
Yeah, that was, we had a tough race this weekend, but it was probably the best week of my life, and I want to thank the team for supporting me, the Marlboro team, Penske, and the whole crew. And I really got to thank the guys back at the engine shop, Carl and the whole rest of the crew. We had that blown motor, and they worked night and day, and without them I wouldn't have been in the race on Sunday, because they got me the motor, worked all night to get it in there. So really I got to thank the whole crew, and they did a great job the whole month, and we'll be back next year.
That's good. How's the baby doing?
Pretty good. I've been away for a couple days. I can't wait to get home and see her.
I'll bet not. Well, for your efforts yesterday, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Corporation has a check for you for $125,700, designated awards $10,000, for a total of $136,003.
Thank you.
Paul Tracy. All right, moving up to 29th position now. He drove the Interstate Battery Gillette Tayessa Airlines Pagan 92 Lola Buick, Jeff Andretti. Well, a similar situation to last year, but you sure do look a lot healthier, and you're walking a lot better than you were at this time last year.
Yeah, at least this year we're walking.
Jeff, you had a good month overall. In fact,
let's give him a hand. This is a real gutsy guy right here.
Thank you.
In fact, from the very beginning of the month, coming here with a brand new team, I thought you just did an outstanding job all month.
Well, thanks. For being a new team and everything, we did. We had a lot of experienced guys out there, and I got to say thanks to those guys. They worked very hard this month and gave me a good car every day. We ran very consistent all month, and we just too bad we had get taken out of the race like we did. But it's just unfortunate. But there's always next year.
And here's some money for you this year. $136,300 from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Corporation, $17,767 in designated awards, and your total is $154,370.
Thank you. I'd just like to thank Interstate Batteries and Gillette and DKNY and Aristo Hotels and Tiesa Airlines for all their support. And I'd also like to thank Jack and Alan Pagan for believing in me and giving me the chance that I could show that I could do it again. And we'll be back next year. And I also like to thank my wife for all her support. She was great through all this tough times. And we'll be back next year, and hopefully we'll have a better result. Thank you.
Finishing in 28th position, driving the Budweiser King Racing 93 Lola Chevy C, Mr. Roberto Guerrero. You want me to read this first, or do you want to talk about it?
It's up to you, Johnny.
Up to me. It's your night.
Okay. Well, first, I'm afraid I have to disagree a little bit with with Jeff Andretti on his comments of him being taken out of the race, but that's history and that's the way it is. I'd like to obviously thank Budweiser, my sponsors, and the rest of the sponsors, Kenny Bernstein, John Dangler, and the whole team. They did a wonderful job. It was a very tough month during the whole month trying to keep, and we were happy we got 3 cars on the grid. The only positive thing about this year is that we get to try it again next weekend, which we couldn't do last year. So we're concentrating on that, and I think we should be able to have a good rest of the year.
That's good. We certainly hope so. Roberto, for your efforts, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Corporation has a check for $127,000, designated awards of $10,000 for a full cash prize of $137,303. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And that is the first set of drivers to get their awards tonight. I was fortunate enough this year to work on the Pagan Racing team, the Interstate Batteries car with Jeff Andretti, and it was a lot of fun. Still coming up, more drivers and more awards, including Jeff Brabham, Willie T. Ribbs, and Led St. James. We'll be back after this, live from the Convention Center.
Position driving the A.J. Foyt Copenhagen Racing 93 Lola Ford Cosworth. Here is Robbie Gordon.
Did you see what I saw, Bob?
We're going to have to do something here. They can't see them when you're behind all this stuff up here, so come here.
You mean team apparel?
Come here. You got to get Brad in the shot.
Check this out.
Check this out. Well, that was the closest thing we came to checkered flags, so I figured I better wear them tonight.
Has AJ seen those yet?
That's AJ's team apparel. These came, they say AJ. See that?
Yeah, I see. It's got AJ Foyt Racing all over the sole. Incredible.
Was it my imagination, Robbie, or were you and John Andretti running with each other all race long? It seemed like you were together on the racetrack. Was that intentional?
No, I don't think it was intentional. I just, I was using John to pace off if he's been here before, and AJ said just sit behind John and follow him for a while. You know, I learned a lot this month from AJ, the ups and the downs of racing, but he's taught me a lot, and I tell you, we can't wait to come back next year.
Well, here's some money for your efforts. First of all, you posted the fastest single rookie qualifying lap, and so you collect $5,000 from United Telephone and Sprint. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway Corporation would like to pay you $137,900 and in designated awards $16,350 for a grand total of $155,453.
Thank you. I must thank AJ, you know, for the opportunity, and Copenhagen for being our major sponsor. It's definitely an advantage to come here as a rookie and have a teacher like AJ and a major sponsor like Copenhagen. Thanks for the opportunity.
Finishing in 26th place, driving the Glidden Menard Special 92 Lola Menard, Mr. Jeff Brabham. Well, Jeff, wasn't quite long enough, was it?
No, it was close. You know, the guys at Team Menard did a really great job this month. We had our problems, and I'd like to propose that we have a new competition at Speedway is which team can change the engine the fastest, because I know my guys would have everyone beat hands down. But you know, I'd just like to thank John Menard and everyone in the team for giving me an opportunity to come back and participate in this great race. I missed being here last year, and I certainly don't want to miss any more.
What did you think of the race while you were in it?
Well, I must admit I was going into the race, I really thought the racetrack wasn't going to give anybody a good race. You know, that was just from running out there in practice. But I found that even in my particular case, that particularly when he got into traffic, there were a lot of opportunities to pass. And I know that, I really didn't feel like that was going to happen going in the race. So I was really pleasantly surprised.
Well, for your efforts, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Corporation has a check for $128,900, designated awards $10,000 for a total of $139,203.
Okay,
Congratulations.
thank you very much.
Moving up to 25th position now, driving the JCPenney Nike Jansen Revlon Spirit of the American Woman, a 92 Lola Ford, last year's Rookie of the Year, Lynn St. James. Well, it's good to have you back with us again. You didn't finish quite as high as you did last year, but still a good run for you until those last few laps.
Yeah, even though last year on paper and obviously for the first time it was a phenomenal experience, this year I had a lot of fun. I really had a great race and I had a lot of fun and I really got my confidence throughout the month and I felt like a real race car driver out there, so I did have a good time.
And for your efforts, the check from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Corporation amounts to $130,000, and the designated awards are $16,100 for a grand total of $146,403. And besides that, you ran 44 laps between your first and second pit stops, which I found phenomenal. And so you collect $5,000 from Klipsch Speakers, sponsor of the Efficiency Award. How did you run 44 laps between pit stops?
We have a very good computer and a very good engineer, and I'm very fuel efficient, you know?
Here's your money. Congratulations.
Thank you. Even though after the applause I know I should leave, but I want to thank a lot of special people. I think I stood on this stage last year and I said, we'll be back. I don't know where that came from because I didn't have a deal and didn't know if I would be able to come back, but I think that a lot of the drivers that are missing on this stage today really drove home the point of what an honor it is to be here. And I want to thank Dick and Diane Simon. I'm proud to be a part of a race team that put 5 cars in the field and has the enthusiasm and the excitement that they bring to racing. I brought a lot of new sponsors this year with Nike and Jansen and Revlon, and I want to really compliment the Speedway for doing such a good job and being able to bring sponsors like that into the sport proudly. I also want to thank the officials, the USAC officials and the people. I've never seen a racetrack get cleaned up so quickly. I learned last year how fast you can do it, but it still amazes me, and the changes that they made in the Speedway that made this really a great race. And my Goodyear tires, which maybe Mario didn't like his last set, I didn't like my last set, but they're still awfully good race tires, so I want to thank them very much. Thank you.
Finishing in 24th place, driving the Budweiser King Racing 93 Lola Chevy C, Mr. Jim Crawford. You don't want me to ask?
No.
Okay, I won't. I won't. Jim Crawford, you've been here how many years? Several.
About 8.
8 years. What did you got a chance to drive on the old racetrack, and you were one of the ones that used to clip the grass on the inside, down on the apron. How did you like the changes, or what did you think? What were your opinions?
I was a little bit strange at first, but I like it. I think it's worked, and congratulations. You've done what you set out to do, and I'm sorry my bit's grass now, but I think it's made for a better race.
Did you tear up a little grass yesterday?
Just a little.
Just a little bit. Okay, well, we'll get on to this. I'll give you. Jim Crawford was the lowest placed car still running yesterday when the checkered flag dropped. And you will receive $5,000 from AutoWorks, sponsor of the Get the Job Done Award. From the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, a check for $131,300. Designated prizes of $16,667 for a total of $148,270.
I've got to thank Kenny Bernstein, the whole Budweiser King effort over 3 or 4 weeks there. It was tough at times, but everybody kept smiling, and I think it worked. It was great working with Roberto and Al. That's 2 teammates that I'd love to come back with. The Speedway, fabulous job, as always, and hope to see you again. Thanks.
Finishing in 23rd position, driving the Coors Light Indy Parks Burns 92 Galmer Chevrolet, Mr. Dominic Dobson. You did so much, it seems, in such a short time, getting onto the track late and getting the Galmer into a qualifying position. Very impressive.
Well, I have to really thank the crew. They did a fantastic job. They worked day and night. We didn't take delivery of the car till the beginning of the month, so we didn't get out till the second week. And when you don't have much time, you just have to move quick.
So does this mean that now that you're not going to come here the 1st of May from now on, you'll just come in prior to a couple of days before qualifying?
I get a lot more yard work done that way, yeah.
Dominic, your crew chief Tom Bloom won the Premier DA Mechanical Achievement Award and collects $2,000 from Premier. We'll let you give that to him. For you personally, $132,800 from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Corporation and $13,100 in designated awards, totaling $146,203.
Well, thank you. And again, I really want to thank Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I think they really set out to do some good here to the track, and I think they've achieved those goals. It was a safe race for everybody. I'm glad to see all the drivers here. I want to thank Tom Burns and Tom Bloom for doing a great job of getting the car ready in time so we could qualify. That was our big challenge, and we were able to make it. The race for us wasn't terrific, but we'll be back next year. And hopefully we'll have Coors Light and Columbia Helicopters back. Roger, Emerson, great job. Thank you.
Finishing in 22nd place, driving the Delta Fawcett Kinko Helmelgarn 92 Lola Buick, Mr. Didier Tays.
Easy for you to say.
Well, want to tell me about it, or?
Was a long day.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You know, you collect $5,000 from KLF Race Specs for winning their final measure award. That's a little extra on top. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway Corporation, $159,400. Designated prizes of $16,350. For a grand total of $176,053.
Not bad.
I'll take it if you don't want it.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, I want to say thanks to the Helmelgarn crew who put the car back together after my spin on last Friday before the first weekend of qualify. I thought for a moment the car was not, can be repaired. When I walk into the ambulance, I just watched behind me and didn't look good. And took them a few days to put the car back together, and we start again on Saturday, following Saturday, and qualify on Sunday last minute. And I want to say thanks to them because they did a great job, and also the sponsor who helped us for me to do that 500 this year, Delta Fawcett, Kinko's, and Jack Tools. Thank you, Ron, also. See you next year.
Didier Tays.
In 21st position, he drove the Bill Cosby Service Merchandise 92 Lola Ford from San Jose, California, Willie T. Ribbs.
Yes.
We missed you last year. We're glad you're with us this year.
I'm glad that you're glad that I'm with you.
Well, tell me about your race.
Bob, first of all, this night belongs to Emerson Fittipaldi Mr. Cosby told me a long time ago, good things happen to good people, and good things happen to a good man, and good people do great things. And Mary Holman George and Tony George have done a great thing by putting on the #1 sporting event in the world.
Just once for these folks, do your Tom Benford impersonation.
What'd you say?
That's...
And for that and your efforts yesterday, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway has $136,100, designated awards totaling $10,250. Your grand total is $146,653, and our congratulations.
Thank you. I want to thank, of course, Bill Cosby and Service Merchandise. I want to thank Steve Erickson for putting a team together 2 weeks before the track opened. Derek Walker for being there and making it happen with Steve Erickson, and everybody for being here. Derek, I will see you in Switzerland with this check. Thank you.
Willie, to you.
More awards, more drivers, more driver comments, and who knows, maybe more impersonations. We've got another segment coming up that includes the Bettenhouses and Stephane Gregoire. Stay tuned.
I'll tell you what's wrong today with kids. They don't have the fire.
Driving the Amex Energy Metals 93 Penske Chevy C, Mr. Tony Bettenhausen. Did the year layoff do you any good?
Well, I'm not sure. I think I found that less practice is a real benefit for me. So let Stefan do all the work, set the car up, and then just go out there and try to put it in the show.
Well, there's certainly less cost that way, and you being a car owner now, doesn't that mean a little something?
It does. I said all along that it had to be a no-brainer to run 2 cars, and we know how important that is for a car owner.
Well, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway has a check for you for $138,000, designated awards of $12,766, for a total of $151,069. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Once again, I'd like to thank the Holman George family and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for putting on the greatest sporting event in the world. Also like to thank my sponsor, Amex, for making it possible for us to come to Indianapolis with 2 great Penske race cars. Congratulations to Emo. He did a fantastic job, lurked all day long and came out of the shadows. To Team Penske, congratulations. You guys are really good, obviously. And thanks to my crew, and especially my wife, for putting up with a car owner and a driver all month long. Thanks.
We're up to 19th position, and the driver was in the Formula Project Maalox GSF Safeway 92 Lola Buick, all the way from France, Mr. Stephane Gregoire.
Okay, Bob, it's your turn.
Okay. Well, I don't parlez-vous whatever, and I don't habla, and so I don't speak French. And I know you don't speak English, but anyway, we were very proud to have you here, and we hope you had a wonderful month. How was it for you?
It's difficult for me to speak after every driver, but I want say I'm very proud to be here, And I want to thank my team Formula Project, my sponsor Marlux, and everybody, because Indianapolis Motor Speedway is really fantastic.
Very good job, huh? At age 24, Stefan was our youngest starting driver. He collects $5,000 from Ameritech Pages Plus, an Ameritech publishing company. From the American Dairy Association, $2,500 for being the fastest rookie qualifier. The American Dairy Association is also paying $500 to each starting rookie. Now, the Speedway Corporation has a check for $165,000, $23,850 in designated awards, and I don't know how many francs this is, but it's $189,603 American dollars, and again, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You know, I think he knows more than he's letting on, Bob.
Yeah, I didn't think he could speak any English. That was better than you do sometimes.
We'll talk about that later. Finishing in 18th place, driving the Panasonic Special, 93 Lola Ford, Mr. Hiro Matsushita. No, I don't speak Japanese. How was your day?
That was a very tough day for me.
Very tough?
Yes.
What did you think about the changes in the track? Did you like the way it is now, or?
Yeah, I think so. The warm-up lanes makes much safer than before.
Very good. Well, the Speedway has a check for you for $147,200, designated prizes $10,000, for a total of $157,503. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And first of all, I'd like to say thank you very much to the Holman family and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and my team owner, Derek Walker, and all of my team crew, and my sponsor, Panasonic, Yoshinoya, the Wilson Car Works, and Mizuno, and I&S Corporation, Mr. Sugiyama. Thank you very much.
Domo arigato.
It's so nice to welcome foreign competitors to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's also nice to hear from guys from Monrovia, Indiana. And the guy that finished in 17th place lives there. He drove the Glidden Paint Special, the 93 Lola Menard, Gary Bettenhausen. Nice to see you back year after year. You still having as much fun as you did 5-10 years ago?
A heck of a lot more than I did 6 or 7 years ago, because now when when the month starts, I don't have to count the entry list and check off the guys that I know are going to be in the race and think, well, maybe I could beat this guy. You know, I don't have to worry about not making the race.
I think one thing that people don't give you enough credit for, you have become an excellent teacher of first-time competitors here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
That goes back a long ways in my career, and that man sitting right there knows where a lot of it came from. It came from Mark Donahue, my teammate in 1972, and he made me open my eyes to what really makes a race car work and the mental attitude, and I think that's half the battle, is just knowing the race car and having the right mental attitude.
Well, you're a great race driver, you're a great teacher, and for your efforts yesterday, $144,500 from the Speedway, $10,250 in designated awards. Your total, Gary, is $155,053. Congratulations.
Thank you, Bob. I want to sincerely thank Mr. John Menard and Glidden Paints, Crestline Windows, Herco, STP. Those are the people that make it possible for me to come back here each year. And I only hope that I can come back for 3, 4, 5 more years. And, you know, because to be in this race is the greatest thrill in my life, and it means a lot to me. And I want to thank Tony, Mary, and I want to congratulate Emil and all the guys on this stage, because this party is so much better than it was last year. Thank you.
For sure. Thanks, Gary. Well said.
Finishing in 16th place, driving the Glidden Menard Special 92 Lola Buick, Mr. Eddie Cheever. Eddie, yesterday you started in 33rd and finished 16th, showing the most improvement in position, and you collect $10,000 from Tag Heuer for that. How about that?
That's probably the hardest $10,000 I've earned in a long time.
Being the highest finishing last day qualifier, Eddie receives $5,000 from Motorsports Spares and New Hampshire ball bearings. So that's another $5,000. You have an Indianapolis Motor Speedway check of $157,000, designated prizes of $27,100. You adding this all up? For a total of $184,403.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I would like to thank Norm Turley for providing a car for me to start the month with. Obviously, I have to thank Menard for making his available when it looked like we were going to have a hard time making the show. Without quorum support, we wouldn't have been here. And that last gentleman that was here, Gary Bettenhausen, of course, for giving me very simple advice in qualifying. And I thought it was going to be a very complicated speech, do this and this. He just said, keep your foot in the gas, and he was right. The only problem with working with Gary is he's now turned me into a chain smoker. Every time I got to have a car, I got to have a cigarette. But I'll be talking to the Marlboro people next week, and I'm sure I can organize something. Thanks, Gary, for qualifying, but I don't know about the rest. Thank you.
Thanks, Eddie. Up to 15th place now, driving the Jeep Andrea Moda ETR Marcello 92 Lola Chevrolet from New York State. Here's Davy Jones. You're one of these guys that we've missed for the last few years. You've been running a lot of IMSA races, but we're glad to have you back. Did you have a good time this month?
I really did. Being away for 4 years, things that you learn here in the past, you remember them very quickly, over the last 3 weeks. And, as well as it pays a lot better than IMSA.
This is going to please you, I'm sure. From the Speedway, $149,600, $16,100 more in designated awards, and your total is $166,003, Davey.
Thank you. I'd like to thank the George family for their warm welcome during the month. Antonio Ferrari and his team for asking me to be a part of their team for this month. And my congratulations to the Penske team and Emerson Fittipaldi for their outstanding effort. And to my wife, Mary Elizabeth, for her love and support, and all the fans out there. Thank you.
Well, it's truly becoming a more international event every year, but coming up in the next segment, a couple of drivers from New Mexico. The Unzers are coming up along with another Andretti. Stay tuned. Live from the Convention Center, the awards ceremony.
Finishing in 14th place, the guy that started in 14th, ironically, driving the Conseco Special Chevrolet Lola 93 Chevy C, Mr. Kevin Cogan. Welcome back.
Thanks, John.
How'd you do that so I can try it next year?
Well, I almost stepped in that black hole you were just talking about. It was close.
Well, Kevin was the slowest qualifier for yesterday's 77th Indy 500. He receives $10,000 from the D.L. Clark Candy Company, sponsors of the Slowpoke Award. Kevin led 4 laps yesterday and was the lowest qualifier to lead the race. He receives $5,000 from the Kroger Company, sponsors of the Hard Charger Award. You also receive from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Corporation a check for $152,300, designated awards of $26,200 for a total cash prize of $180,603. Not bad. Not bad.
Well, there's a lot of people I'd like to thank, but not for the usual reasons. Mainly for support from Stephen Luan Hilbert, from Conseco, Rick and Tina Gallus, for sticking with me, my whole team. I mean, they really, it was a very long 2 years, and I can't tell you how tough it was to rehabilitate from the second surgeries. I'd really like to thank most especially my wife, Tracy. She put up with a lot for a year and a half, and thanks a lot.
Finishing in a lucky 13th position, driving the Codilux STP 92 Lola Ford, here's Jimmy Vassar. Congratulations. You won a couple of accessory awards, including the $5,000 award from the News Pager Corporation of America for recording the 4 most consistent laps during qualifying. Was that a situation where you had your foot to the floor all the way around and didn't lift?
No, I can't attest to that. I'd like to see the guy who did that this month. But I have to thank my crew, the Codilux STP Hey-Ho Simon Racing Team. You know, they gave me a car that it didn't fade away so quick, and I have to thank them for that award.
Well, your crew chief, Phil Casey, was named the winner of the Clint Bronner Mechanical Excellence Award, so he receives $5,000 from the Clint Bronner Foundation. For you, $155,500 from the Speedway and $32,200 in designated awards. Your total, Jimmy, is $188,003.
Thanks, Bob. I'd like to thank my sponsors, Codilux, STP, Otter Pops, and Bum Equipment for obviously making this possible for us. It's funded by sponsorship dollars, and that's what it takes. I'd also like to thank the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and USAC for putting on a great show and addressing some problems I think that needed to be addressed. I spent this night last year in the hospital, and it feels good to be up here tonight. I'd also like to extend my congratulations to Emerson and Team Penske for a fantastic job on race day, and thank you very much.
Thanks, Jimmy. See you next year.
Finishing in 12th place, driving the Budweiser King 93 Lola Chevy C, an old friend of mine, Al Unser, 4-time winner of this race. Al Unser was the leader of the 62nd lap yesterday of lap 62. He receives $5,000 from Marsh Supermarkets. He also led lap 63 and receives $5,000 from the Bear Automotive, honoring their 63rd year at Indianapolis. You want to tell us about your day yesterday, Al?
Well, John, it was probably better than yours.
Here.
No, really.
I got the mic too.
I know.
I can shut yours off.
That's why I better shut up. No, it was a good day. I can't complain too much.
Well, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Corporation has a check for $158,500, designated awards of $29,317, for a grand total of $194,870. Congratulations, Al.
Well, it's not as good as some of them I've seen, but it's better than... Congratulations, Elmo. I think you did a good job yesterday. Whew. But anyway, I want to thank Budweiser, Kenny Bernstein, and my whole crew, Brian and the rest of them, because they did a good job for us, and hope we come back next year and see what we can do. Maybe we can race each other again.
I'd love to. Congratulations.
In 11th position in yesterday's 500-mile race, driving the Amex Energy and Metals 93 Penske Chevy C, Stefan Johansson. We enjoyed having you here this month. I know we've run into each other occasionally on the Formula One circuit. It was good having you here. What were your impressions of the month of May in the Speedway?
Well, I was a little bit apprehensive to start with, I must admit, but as the days went on, I really got to like it more and more, and now I really love it. It was the best race of my life, really.
You going to come back next year?
Absolutely.
Good. Stephanie was our top starting rookie, receives $5,000 from Olinger Distributing, who sponsored the T.P. Donovan Award. $161,700 from the Speedway, 24,017 designated awards. Your total, Stefan, is $186,020.
Thank you. I'd like to, first of all, congratulate Emerson. Fantastic race, and also the Penske team, of course. I also like to thank all the crew in my team who did a great job all month. The car never missed a beat. And to Tony Bettenhausen, of course, and AMAX, and also to Goodyear for the great support during the month. Thank you.
Finishing in 10th place, driving the A.J. Foyt Copenhagen Racing Marmon Wasp 2 92 Lola Ford, John Andretti. John was one of 10 drivers to complete all 200 laps yesterday and received $7,500 from Marlboro as part of the Marlboro 500 Club Award. He was 10th position and charging on 9th when the checkered flag fell yesterday. He closed the gap between the two positions down to .289 seconds. He collects $10,000 from Kenwood, USA, for the closest battle award. John also collects $5,000 from Loctite for completing all 500 miles yesterday. Each of the top 10 drivers who completed 500 miles will collect $5,000 from the Loctite Corporation. Indianapolis Motor Speedway check is $190,100, $37,000 in designated prizes, for a total cash award of $228,303.
I know it's kind of an old story, but it took a lot of people believing in me this month to make it here tonight. And it started with Derek Walker and his team, and Hero and Willie, and I just want to extend a special thanks to them. And then AJ came along in Copenhagen, and the Marmon Group, and Haviland, and Goodyear, and Ford, and for me in the field. So the crew, I still think they're trying to figure out, this is where your check's going to come from, because I'm the guy that drove for you. If you don't recognize me yet, because we didn't spend many days together. And it's a real special thanks to my wife. She really stuck by me the whole time, and it's been somewhat difficult. I've never showed up at the Speedway in the last 5 years without a ride, and I found out just how hard it is to hang around a place without a job. And she gave me the best gift of all, too. She gave me my first son in December, and I can see you, and I know you're not in bed, so you better go to bed. Thank you.
Thanks, Sam. In 9th position was the driver of the Pennzoil Special 93 Lola Chevy C, Mr. Teo Fabi. Now, Teo, one of your awards is for logging 2,432.5 miles during the month in practice, and that pays you $5,000 from Richard Deering Cleaners, sponsors of the Workhorse Award. Was that something that you planned, or was that something that you felt like you had to do?
No, we had to do, and I think we did a great job. I think it's an honor for everyone to to be able to finish on the same lap as Emerson and Team Penske. And I think it was a great race, and it took a lot of work, but I'm proud of it.
And you were also one of the 10 drivers to complete 500 miles yesterday, and that gets you $7,500 from Marlboro. From the Speedway, $173,700. Designated awards, $32,700. Total, $206,703. Teo?
Thank you. It's very nice to be back at Indy. I'm very proud of it, and I want to thank Pennzoil that made it possible. And I want to congratulate Emerson, and at least one member of my family was happy. My son Stefano is a great fan of Emerson, and congratulations to Mr. Penske too.
Finishing in 8th place, driving the Valvoline Chevrolet Lola 93 Chevy C, Mr. Al Unser Jr., our defending champion. Thursday, the Miller Brewing Company held its annual pit stop contest, and Al Jr. and his crew finished first, collecting $25,000 from the Miller Brewing Company. Al Jr. also completed 500 miles yesterday. He received $7,500 from Marlboro. Indianapolis Motor Speedway Corporation check for $175,200. Designated prizes $60,100. Total cash prize $243,253. Not bad.
Not bad at all. Thank you. I just want to thank my crew for doing a wonderful job, and especially Owen and all the guys who prepared the car. This is the second time I've ever completed 500 miles. Last year was the first, and so we did it again this year, and so I was really happy about that. And I just want to thank my sponsors, Valvoline and Molson and Chevrolet, for giving me the great engine they gave me, and Bosch spark plugs, and also Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company for their support. And I want to thank the Holman George family for giving us such a great racetrack to race on, and really the greatest race in the world. And also USAC for making everybody straight and all that kind of stuff. So thank you.
And there's little Al. 7 drivers yet to honor, including Rookie of the Year honors. So stay tuned as we bring you live coverage of the awards banquet from downtown Indianapolis.
All right, let's move on now to 7th place, I guess. Driving the McKinsey Financial Special, a 93 Lola Ford from our friends to the north in Canada. Here is Scott Goodyear, last year's runner-up. Well, Scott, it isn't quite as good as last year, but you nevertheless had a great day yesterday. It was fun watching you.
It was a good day. Certainly the result wasn't what we were after, but I think I have to thank everybody on the McKenzie team. We did a wonderful job. Tim Wardrop, the engineer, and Buddy Lindblom, the crew chief, and all the guys. We worked hard all month, and certainly chased the setup yesterday. Everybody at McKenzie Financial Corporation and McKenzie Investment Management, I'd like to say thank you again, because they're certainly the people that make it possible for me to be here. I was very pleased with the Ford Power this year. It ran strong all month. We had some motors we put up to 600 miles on. I think couldn't have asked anything better than that from Ford Cosworth. It's just a superb power plant. And we put a lot of miles on the tires this year, and thank you, Goodyear. Certainly a great month for that.
You're one of those that completed the full distance yesterday, and so you get $7,500 from Marlboro, $182,600 from the Speedway, and $49,800 in designated awards. Your total is $234,953.
I also like to thank Derek Walker. I've never been with a group that has run such a professional operation before. It's my 4th year here, and As you noted, finishing the 500-mile event, we finished both 500 miles yesterday, or last year, at both Michigan and Indianapolis. I think we're the only team to do that last year. And we finished 500 miles again yesterday, so that's almost a perfect record as far as that goes. And I'd like to thank Jim O'Donnell, certainly a friend of mine, and certainly has helped me come here this far. And I'd like to say a special thank you to my wife, because it's been a busy month this past 4 weeks with everything that I've done with the promotional work, and was always on the phone and the radio interviews in the morning, and got home late at night after speaking every night. So thanks for putting up with me not being there. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Scott.
Finishing in 6th place, driving the Amway Jonathan Bird Cafeteria Bryant Heating and Cooling 93 Lola Ford, Scott Brayton. Scott, you drove a heck of a race yesterday.
Thank you. It was an excellent month. The team worked real hard. I'd like to thank all my guys. They stayed in there and they worked real hard. And Dick and Diane Simon did a wonderful job with all their cars. And the team, I think, really worked well together this year. It was really an exciting year for us.
Very good. Well, for your efforts, Scott, you're one of the drivers finishing the 500 miles yesterday, and you receive $7,500 from Marlboro. From the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Corporation, a check for $190,500. Designated awards $57,450 for a grand total of $248,253. Congratulations.
Thank you. I just want to thank all the fans for being out there this month of May. I especially want to thank all my sponsors. This month we just had a whole big list of them, but most importantly, Amway, Bryant, and Jonathan Bird joining us this year, Northwest Airlines, and again, the team just did a fantastic job. I want to thank the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for putting on such a wonderful race. It's great to be a part of it, and I really want to thank Goodyear for keeping us in tires. There were some times where it was close, but in the end they came through, and I especially want to thank Ford for a great engine that took us to the distance. And I want to say to Team Penske and Emerson, it's one heck of a race. Congratulations.
And now into the top 5. Finishing 5th in the Kmart, Texaco, Haviland, Newman, Haas Racing 93 Lola Ford, the 1969 winner of this great Indianapolis Classic, Mario Andretti. Mario, it was great to see you leading the race yesterday. You've already won one this year. It seems to me that there's new fire in that, I was going to say old body, but I won't. I'll just say there's new fire in Mario Andretti.
Oh, yes, there is. My psychic told me that it was going to be my day. It says, no matter where you are, I said, toward the end of the race, you don't have to drive too hard because whoever's in front of you is going to drop out just like Phoenix. And so I waited and waited, and the checkered flag came down, and I finished 5th. So I want my money back.
Or a new psychic, one of the two. Mario and his crew placed 2nd in the Miller Brewing Company's pit stop contest, collecting $15,000 from Miller. Mario qualified 2nd fastest, receives $10,000 from GTE as part of their GTE Front Runners Award. There were 12 leaders yesterday. Mario led a total of 72 laps, the most of any driver. And for that, he receives $10,000 from INB, sponsors of the INB Leader Circle Award. For being our race leader at the 100, 300, and 400 marks of yesterday's race, Mario gets $8,000 from the National Automobile Dealers Association, sponsors of the NADA Milestone Awards. He completed the full distance yesterday and gets $7,500 from Marlboro, and he was our first qualifier on pole day, and that pays him $5,000 from Indiana Bell as part of their First in the Field award. Besides that, $199,200 from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, $82,050 in designated awards. Mario Andretti's total is $313,953.
Thank you. Certainly want to thank the Newman Haas team for obviously providing the best equipment that a driver could possibly want, and Jim McGee, my old friend, the team manager of the team, for motivating the crew to do just a phenomenal job for both Nigel and myself the whole month. Our friends at Kmart and Texaco for their support, and Emerson and Roger and the team, congratulations, and also congratulations to my teammate Nigel for Rookie of the Year, and to Tony George, great job on the improvements at the track. The warm-up lane obviously was just a fantastic improvement, a great need, and a real asset to the safety, and I never thought that I would approve of you taking away the apron, but I think the race itself showed that it could still be an exciting and competitive race, and also a safe race. So the objective was reached, and Mary, thank you very much for your hospitality for our family always here. Thank you.
Finishing in fourth place, driving the Duracell Mobil 1 Sadia 93 Lola Ford, Mr. Raul Bosell.
Congratulations.
For being the number 3 qualifier, Raul, you qualified outside the front row. You received $10,000 from GTE as part of their GTE Front Runner Award. Last Thursday, Raul and his crew finished fourth in the Miller Brewing Company's annual pit stop contest and collects $5,000 from Miller Brewing. Raul was leading yesterday at lap 5. He receives $5,000 from Indiana Gas for being on the gas. Raul collects $5,000 from Indiana Oxygen Company, sponsors of the Perseverance Award. You receive a check from the, no, that's all of those, Raul. I can't read anymore. They didn't give me any more. Check from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for $210,800. Designated prizes, $98,700. Total cash prize, $317,903. Raul Bosell. Tell him something, Ralph.
Well, between yes and today, I have quite a few mixed feelings. Upset, sorry, but after a few cold showers, the one that stick most of me, that and with the team, is that I'm very proud of myself, of my performance, and the whole team yesterday. I'd like to thank for the support of my sponsors, Duracell, Mobil 1 Latin America, and Sadia, because normally the last few years I just came here as a replacement. And this year we came very strong, and we knew that would be strong all month. The team, they did a fantastic job all year, all month. We have a very enjoyable month. Every day we come out of the garage smile. And next year we'll make sure that we lead the last lap, so they don't have enough time to give us a black flag. Thank you.
Raul Bosell.
All right, we're up to number 3 now. He drove the Kmart, Texaco, Haviland, Newman, Haas Racing 93 Lola Ford. Nigel Mansell. Nigel, your very first race on an oval, and it came at probably the toughest one in the world. Just your overall thoughts of the month of May and the Indianapolis 500.
Where do I start? I think if I can backtrack a little bit, I've got a lot of thanks to make because obviously when some of them were still driving or the start of the testing here in May, I was still in hospital. And I'd just like to thank my specialists who operate on me, one which is local, which is Terry Trammell, which all the drivers behind certainly knows, but my own specialist down in Clearwater, George Morris, a big thank you to them. And going on from there, making it possible for me to be with you this evening, and part of the race was obviously Tony and Mary and the USAC officials for letting me have a delayed rookie test, so many, many thanks to them.
Nigel, you have many awards coming tonight. First of all, for being our race leader at the 200 mark, you received $2,000 from the National Automobile Dealers Association, sponsors of the NADA Milestone Award. You are our 13th fastest qualifier. You get $5,000 from Linnell Incorporated, sponsors of the Lucky 13 Award. And you were one of the 10 drivers to complete the full distance yesterday, and you get $7,500 from Marlboro. Mario kind of stole the thunder on the next award that I'm about to announce to you. First of all, I'd like to recognize the fact that we have 9 former rookies on the stage tonight. And joining such names as Jim Clark, Mario Andretti, Mark Donohue, Rick Mears, and Ari Luyendyk. Nigel Mansell has been voted the Bank One Rookie of the Year, and that pays $10,000 from Bank One. And also $297,700 from the Speedway, $77,900 in designated awards, $391,203 for Nigel Mansell.
Well, you haven't got rid of me yet. There's a few more thanks to my team, to Carl and Paul Newman for making it all possible, and the support and all the crew. Special thanks to Jim McGee and Peter Gibbons, because I don't know if anybody was listening to the radio yesterday, but they guided me through the race. And I'll give you one instance when I hit the wall in 2, when it jumped out at me. I called on the radio and said, Jim, I've hit the wall in 2. He says, you still running? I said, I think so. But very many thanks to them and everybody associated, which I believe is the greatest race in the world currently today. Thank you.
Well, Bob, we're closing in for finishing second place.
Well, there's one deliberate mistake. If I can come back next year, I just hope Emo goes a little bit slower on the restart. But in finishing, the big faux pas is many, many congratulations to Roger Penske, to the Penske team. Emo did drive an absolutely fantastic race, and also Ari as well. It was a great race for everybody. Thank you.
Watch him till he sits down. Finishing in second place, driving the Target Scotch Video 93 Lola Ford, the 1990 winner of this race, Ari Luyendyk. Well, Dutch, what kind of day did you have? Obviously, it was pretty good from this stack.
I had a great day. I had a great month. Obviously, I have to thank all the sponsors involved with Chip Ganassi Racing, Target, Scotch Video, Rayovac, Diet Pepsi, 7-Up, and about 12 more. So I also have to thank my crew. My car ran flawlessly all month. I mean, we never had a mechanical problem. We never brushed the wall. We never did anything really wrong or that really set us back. And we had a real smooth month. And obviously, you know, Saturday morning qualifying wasn't that great, but at the end of the day, we were all smart. And thanks to the crew that, and Morris Nunn and everybody on the team, we really went to work, took advantage of the opportunity to test in the afternoon. And winning pole position was a great thrill, and obviously finishing second yesterday was very rewarding.
Well, for your efforts, Ari, as our pole setter, with an average speed of 223.967 miles an hour. That afternoon, Ari collects a check for $100,000 from PPG Industries for winning the PPG Pole Award. He also drove home a brand new Chevrolet StarCraft van valued at over $35,000 from Chevrolet and StarCraft. Ari's owner, Chip Ganassi, also collects $10,000 from StarCraft Corporation for the winning Pole Position Owners Award. Ari also recorded the fastest single lap qualifying, 224.316. He receives $5,000 from the Thomas Barrett Classic Cars. And as the pole setter and a member of the front row, Ari collects $10,000 from GTE as part of their Front Runners Award. Also, Ari's crew chief, Mike Hull, collects $10,000 from Lawn Chief Garden Tractors, painted to resemble the Target Scotch Video Lola that sat on the pole yesterday, from True Value, sponsors of the Master Mechanics Award. Ari's chief mechanics also receives $2,500 from Loctite Corporation, and Loctite is also pleased to present each chief mechanic from the qualified car a Loctite Chief Mechanics ring. Ari also receives $5,000 from Permatech, sponsors of the Fast Orange Award.
Do you need to take a rest?
You want me to do some of those?
Let me try.
You can
Let me try to get through these. I think I can make it. Ari and his crew placed third in the Miller Pit Stop competition, and they collect $5,000 from the Miller Brewing Company. Ari helped, with the help of his crew, spent the last month, the least amount of time, I'll get it right.
The least amount of time in the pits.
The least amount of time in the pits. 5 stops for a total of 3 minutes and 11 seconds. They received $5,000 from Sears Roebuck and Company and an additional $25,000 for using Craftsman's ProSet 2000 tool chest on race day. Take it away, Ari.
Well, I really want to thank my crew, because yesterday the pit stops, they went so quick that, normally we take a drink of water. And I just said, forget the water. I mean, they happen so fast. So thanks to them, they did a great job in the pits.
Ari also completed 500 miles yesterday, and he received $7,500 from Marlboro. Ari was leading yesterday at lap 48 and receives $5,000 from Terre Haute First National Bank, sponsors of the Chapman S. Root Award.
And do you realize that in the time it took Johnny to go through those, Ari qualified 4 laps and probably did the winter interview, or the pole sitter interview.
And I'm not done yet.
That's right.
And I'm not finished. We're going to get 2 more laps in. From the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Corporation, you're going to like this, $427,900. Designated awards, $246,800. Total cash prize, $681,303.
Thank you. Obviously, I'd like to thank everybody that made it possible to come up with such a purse. It's quite impressive. I'd like to thank the Holman family for putting on truly a great race, which I enjoy very much. I love being here the whole month. It's a time to get together with not just the drivers, because we usually never talk to each other during the other races because it's just a weekend, but and being together with my crew to just work more than just a weekend. I'd like to thank PPG for such a tremendous award for pole position, and Chevrolet obviously for the prize with the StarCraft van. I am a Ford driver, and I'd like to thank Chevrolet that because they were so dominant a few years ago that they enticed Ford to come back into the series, because I'm sure that a lot of guys behind me would agree that the Ford engine is a fantastic engine. I'd like to congratulate Emerson on doing a fantastic job. Penske team, Marlboro, you guys deserved the win yesterday. I didn't feel like that yesterday afternoon, but having thought about it, The restarts were key yesterday, and I think that Emerson and I obviously had the advantage over Nigel, Nigel being a rookie. Nigel Mansell, world champion, 30 Grand Prix, rookie. Not. At Indianapolis he was a little bit yesterday, but great job, Nigel. And I better get going because Emerson is waiting there for $1 million plus check. Thank you.
Ari Lyondike.
Well, Mr. Rutherford, it is time and our distinct pleasure to introduce to you the winner of the 1993 Indianapolis 500.
But Bob, before we bring him up here, let's take a moment to look at this special tribute to our winner.
Before we introduce the winner of yesterday's race, we would like to introduce the car owner. He came here 25 years ago and yesterday won his 9th Indianapolis 500. Ladies and gentlemen, Roger Penske.
Mary, I understand you have something special you want to say to Roger Penske, so would you come up, please?
First of all, I'd like to say congratulations, Roger. It is always a pleasure to have you up here. And in addition to your victory this year, 1993 also marks a special occasion for you, your 25th year of participation in the Indianapolis 500-mile race. Within those 25 years, you have celebrated 9 victories. We'd like to congratulate you on this remarkable achievement and pay tribute to this occasion. This French Baccarat crystal sculpture is by the world-famous designer Thomas Bastide. The precision, skill, and geometric balance expressed in this creation has never before been achieved in crystal. We think this first-of-a-kind creation is a fitting tribute to your first-of-a-kind achievement in racing. Our congratulations to you and best wishes for another 25 years at Indy with many, many more victories. And I might add that the name of this was Tension. I wonder where that could fit in any more appropriately. Thank you, Roger.
Murray, thank you very much. It's certainly a great award, and I can say tonight it's a real pleasure to be here. Certainly the Holman family bringing us the greatest sports spectacle in the world here at Indianapolis is outstanding. And I think all of the car owners that are here tonight, the drivers, the mechanics, we're lucky to be part of this great event. Certainly, yesterday was key for me. We had a great driver who brought home the victory, and we know how close it was. I looked up at the board many times during the race and saw where we were back in 10th or 11th position. But again, you know how this race goes. At the end, you have to be there. Certainly, Nigel Mansell, coming into IndyCar racing, brought another special thing. We needed that in IndyCar, to see world champions come back to our sport like Mario and Nigel and Emerson, I think has done a lot for us. I want to thank our whole crew, obviously, Marlboro, our sponsor, Nigel Bennett for designing the best car in the race, and of course, the Chevrolet people with Mario and Paul Morgan, a great engine. We all had a great contest out there, cars and engines and drivers. I want to thank my wife. Kathy, of course, stays with me during this whole racing episode through these 25 years. It's really been something. But again, Emerson, fantastic race. To all the drivers and everyone, all the fans, you did a great job. AAA, thanks a million.
And now I'd like to call out and let you meet the entire crew of Roger Penske Racing, including crew chief Rick Reineman, the team that won yesterday's 500. Congratulations to all of you gentlemen, and Rick, here is your winning team ring from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I'd like to take a few minutes. I just have a few people I'd like to thank. First of all, as we all know, winning starts from the top. And I'd like to thank Roger Penske for giving me a chance to be up here. And not only that, but for surrounding me with a bunch of great guys that are hard workers, and as you can see, they really got the job done. Also like to send my thanks back to Reading, to our engine shop. The guys, I mean, they were unbelievable this month. They put in some long hours. I thank Carl Keinhofer and all his guys for the support that they gave us. Also like to thank the paint shop back in Reading that have done a splendid job on the painting of the car back there. Also like to thank Richard Buck that gave us the opportunity to put the spare car in the show, and to Guy Oder and his crew that did an excellent job of setting the car up for the race during the week. And we go to the driver, Emerson. One time during the race, it was about halfway through the race, somewhere in there, and I think we were wandering around back in 14th place or something, about to go a lap down, and Emerson come over the radio and he says, it's about time I go for the leaders. And he certainly got the job done, and he is truly a world champion, and myself and from all the Marlboro Penske Racing team, we're very proud to have him with us.
By the way, Rick, your winning Chief Mechanic's ring is from Loctite, and Rick Reineman is also the winner of the 1993 Tony Foyt Award, receiving $6,000 and a 14-karat gold watch from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Corporation. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, Roger, if I could get you back up here for just a short moment, we would like to present you $5,000 and the winning car owner's ring from the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company, suppliers of all the tires used in yesterday's 77th Indianapolis 500.
Bob, thank you very much. And the Goodyear, the people that really have supported us in this sport for the last dozen years, this is tremendous, and thank you from all of us.
Finishing in first position yesterday in the 77th Indianapolis 500, driving the Marlboro Penske Chevy 93, Chevy Indy C. Ladies and gentlemen, Emerson Fittipaldi. Before we start handing out the awards, we would like the family members of this great team to also join us here on the stage. While they are coming out, I'm going to start handing out the awards because there are a lot of them. Mo, you get $7,500 from the Eastman Kodak Company for winning the Kodak Photo Finish Award, and from the J.C. Penney Company, $5,000, and winners of the quilt made by Quilt Lady Janetta Holder. You received $7,500 from Marlboro for completing the full distance yesterday. You ran the fastest lap of the race, 214.807 on the 198th lap, and you get $10,000 from IBM. From the Loctite Corporation for capturing your second Indy 500 victory history, $25,000, and $5,000 to your crew chief mechanic for helping you get to Victory Circle. You took the checkered flag yesterday from starter Dwayne Sweeney. Tonight you get it for keeps, along with $10,000 from National City Bank, part of their checkered flag award. You receive $15,000 from Herff Jones and a winner's ring as part of their Champions of Champion Award, and here is the ring for you. From Borg Warner Automotive, $100,000, and a replica of the Borg Warner Trophy valued at over $25,000. Also, of course, your image will be permanently affixed to the Borg Warner Trophy for the second time. That trophy, of course, housed in the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Hall of Fame Museum. From the Chevrolet Motor Division, keys to the 1993 Chevrolet Z28 Camaro, the official pace car for the 93 500-mile race. And besides all of those accessory awards, you of course win the most amount of money from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And to present the check to you, I'd like to call on the president of the Speedway, Mr. Tony George.
On behalf of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Emerson, it's my pleasure to present you the winner's take on the 77th Indianapolis 500. First, I'd like to offer my congratulations to Marlboro Team Penske for doing an outstanding job. Roger, Emerson, you guys have put a lot into the sport of IndyCar racing through the years, and I think everyone here is very appreciative of your efforts to elevate it to the position it holds today. So with that, I'd like to just say, Emerson, here's a check for, I won't go through all of this, I'll let someone else, but the total is $1,155,304.
Champion, the microphone is yours.
Well, thank you very much. You can imagine how I feel winning for the second time the Indy 500 is a dream since I was a little boy, and to win twice just too much. Like every race that goes by, you always have some stories that happen on the race. And yes, the race was looking good, was great. And I think my third pit stop, I see all my crew there, they're all dressed in red overalls, red uniform, waiting for me, ready to change my tires to put fuel. And I come in, and I said they were Roberto crew. Now, when I saw that, I said, well, if I'm here, why not they change my tires and put fuel? But they're not nice to me. They're giving some funny signs, and I move over. Anyway, it was a great race. I think was the improvement on the racing track, like Mario say, was a much safer race. I think all the drivers should thank, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway to react to the safety problem we had last year. They did a big improvement on safety. The pit exit, the pit entrance was much safer, and during the race was a much safer race. I think it was a great achievement. I'd like to congratulate to improve the safety. It was one of the toughest races I ever raced. It was a very competitive race. At the end of the race was Mario running very strong, Raul was running very strong, Ari was running very strong, even that rookie, Nigel, he was running really strong. I mean, too strong to be a rookie. And I think what happened, I was on the right place, the right time, driving the right car, and it happened again. I mean, what else can I say? It was fantastic to win the second time the race. I would like to thank now personally Mary Holman and Tony George on all their hospitality the month of May to us, to the drivers, to the families, to the children. I would like to thank the USAC officials, the IMS workers, everybody to put at this fantastic show. I mean, there's no doubt it's the #1 race event in the world.
Okay.
I would like to thank all the support from the fans that I had the whole month here. It was great support. And it's very special for me as well. I would like to thank Marlboro, Philip Morris, to support me for nearly 20 years. I mean, that's great. We have been together in Formula One. We won twice in Indianapolis. I think that's a fantastic support. And they are quality. They are #1. Thanks, Marlboro. Thanks for the support. Now, going to the team, I would like to thank Chuck Sprague, the team manager. He did an outstanding job. And after that funny pit stop, every time I come into the pit, he say, Emerson, we are down here, down here. Anyway, I'd like to thank as well Grant Newberry, my engineer for the whole month of May. We have been working for a few years together, and finally we achieved the win together. It was great. Rick Reineman, Nigel Bennett for designing a beautiful car to supply us with great engines, the engine shop in Reading. All the team members that are here has been great. I mean, I feel like it's not just a team, I feel like I work with a family. That's a fantastic feeling when a driver can feel that. And I'd like to thank as well Rick Mears. He had a lot of input on this result. He was always there trying to help myself and Paul with all his experience, his expertise. I'm learning a lot of Rick. Thanks, Rick. And there's something very special. That's our leader, Roger Penske. I mean, Roger, with his leadership, with his competitive spirit, and always trying to be #1, he's there. I mean, he's always there when we need it. He's always there to support us. He is always there. And thanks, Roger, for this incredible career, and congratulations for your 25th anniversary. I'm very proud to be part of this win on your team. Thank you, Roger. And I have a special dedication to this win, a personal dedication to Peter Tweed. We had great work together for the last 6 years. He's one of the guys that put Marlboro in race in America, and he's keep me on track all the time, check if I'm doing everything right. Thanks, Pete. And now I would like to dedicate as well this win to my wife, Teresa, to my kids, Jason that's here. I mean, my wife has been putting out all my racing. She understands now racing, she supports me, and that's great to be a racing driver, so tough sport, and have the family behind support. Thank you very much.
We'll be back with more coverage from the victory celebration and awards from downtown Indianapolis right after this.
Take Ford Taurus, the best-selling car in America, with a V6 and driver's airbag standard. Get one loaded with air conditioning, stereo cassette, power windows, and locks, and save $1,200. Around here, people drive Ford, and the reason is simple. You won't find a better value. Remember, 5 of the 10 best-selling cars and trucks in America are at your Indiana Ford dealer now.
In a taste test, Hardee's Fried Chicken beat KFC by...
All right, once again, we take a look at the Borg Warner Trophy given to Emerson Fittipaldi tonight for winning the 77th Indianapolis 500. Of course, that's only a portion of what Emerson picked up tonight, $1,155,304 for his victory yesterday, part of a total package of $7,681,300. That is a new record the Speedway has given out this year. It's been quite a month in May. It has worked very well. The drivers all safe, all 33 here tonight to pick up their victory awards and their money. And we're glad that everyone was okay, that it was a safe race. We thank you for joining us. We'll see you again in just 11 months. It all starts again. Good night from downtown at the Convention Center at the Victory Award celebration, which was brought to you tonight by the presentation of Telex Sports.
Tonight's Victory Banquet is sponsored in part by Hardee's.